Alright, we're back. We got to do a couple more things, a lot of things to this basement, but one of the things that I want to add to this is a cutout for the garage. Actually, two cutouts. You have two cutouts that are 9 foot 3 inches wide. You have a 9-foot door. Your garage door openings are always 3 or 4, depending upon who you talk to, inches wider. And here it says the top of the garage foundation is 8 inches lower at the door. Verify height by owner. It could be more depending upon how tall a vehicle they want to be running in there and how high your foundation wall is up out of the ground. So right now we're going to go with these notes, 8 inches lower at the doorway than the regular foundation wall. So it'll have an 8-inch notch cut in it, 9 foot 3 inches wide. Here it says from this corner of the house and from this corner of the garage it's 2 foot 1 inches over. We'll have to do some math when we get to that because of where the walls fall, but remember that. We need 9 foot 3, 1 foot 4 in between. So we're going to go edit the profile of this wall. So I'm going to go over to Revit here, and if I touch that wall up here at the top, I can go to Edit Profile. It's going to ask me if I want to edit it from the north or the south. The south is down here at the bottom of the screen, so that would be the best view to edit it from. So I can just double click on south. And there's the profile of that wall. Now note, this is the corner of the house, and I'm 4 inches past that. I'm into the middle of that wall, so I have to add 4 inches to my measurement here. And here I'm 4 inches inside of. So this is actually going to be, I made a note here, 1 foot 5 inches over the notch. And this is going to be 2 foot 5 inches over. So the easiest thing to do is just to delete that top line. So select it, delete, and up here at the very top you have some sketching tools. Here's a line. You can come in here and you can pull a line. If you can kind of watch, I mean, right there's 2 foot 5. And then I can go down. If I zoom in, I get better increments, but there's my 8 inches. It has to go over 9 foot 3. And I could just get it close and then dimension it. But if I pay attention, and if I were going to dimension this, what I would do is when I put that in, I wouldn't dimension it after the whole thing's done. What I would go and do is I'd annotate these one at a time as I go through. 1 foot 4 is what that's supposed to be. So that's 1 foot 4, and then I would go and draw my stuff in. You have a little bit better control over it. Now that comes down and finds the other 8 foot it projects over, or 8 inches. I come over here, it's supposed to be at 9 foot 3. Well, there's 9 foot 2. Darn. Now I'm just going to go dimension it. Annotate, a linear dimension. Let's do annotate a line dimension, see if that'll, no. Annotate linear, and I pick each end of the line, and when I touch that, put the dimension on there, don't touch the dimension, touch the line, and then you can change it. 9 foot 3. So I really don't need that dimension there anymore. There's 9 foot 3. Could have done it, I guess, just by touching the line also. Lock onto it, come up to the top. This should be, if I go all the way to the end, it's 2 foot 1. Here's 1 foot 9 there. I think that math isn't working out quite right. Let's check. I'm going to do annotate linear dimension. See if it'll go from there to there. 2 foot 1, that's correct. If I can get from here to here, 2 foot 1 are correct. Right click, cancel, right click, cancel, hit the check mark. And you you have, when you go look at 3D, your notch cutout. Now here's the only problem with that notch. You look at it from the top view, basement. When you go to the basement top view, it doesn't show up. And so we have to play with that a little bit. There's probably a setting in the software that would let that show up, but as long as we know the math, it's the same math we just did. We can go up to annotate. We can go to a region right here where it says region. And I'm going to use this rectangle tool, and I'm going to draw myself a rectangle here, another rectangle over here. Those rectangles, we can change the patterns on them in a minute, but if I check the dimensions, if I touch this one, see I can go, it's supposed to be 2'1". Now I have to go touch this line and set that to 9'3". If I touch this line, here's the distance it is away from that one. That's supposed to be 1'4". If I go touch this line, I can work this to 9'3". If I hit that dot, you'll see that it comes out to 2'1". This is field region diagonal crosshatch. What I want is the diagonal up on both of those. Now here's what we're going to see when we get into 3D is that those, nope, we won't see it there. Let's see if I see it in the elevations. Not going to bother us. I was thinking we'd have a line there. All they're there for is in the basement view to show that we have those cutouts, and it also gives us a place to dimension to. So it'll be just fine that way. The other thing we might do while we're here is make sure we lock these walls down so they don't move. They are sitting right on these lines, on these grid lines, but you do have, when you pick the wall, when you pick any object, you get some modified tools up here. This one is called the line. If I pick a line and I touch this vertical grid line, and I touch the edge of the wall, I can lock it. Touch the horizontal grid line, the edge of the wall, not the footing, the wall, I can lock it. What it does then is it locks the walls. You have to pick the grid line first, the object you're going to lock to it second. Grid line first, the object you lock second. Oh, and you have to hit the lock. Duh. Here, here, lock it. It keeps you from accidentally moving. So what you're going to align to, the object you're going to align, lock it. Grid line, edge of wall, lock it. Grid line, edge of wall, lock it. Grid line, edge of wall, lock it. I think I only have one more to do. Didn't I? Oh, I already did that one. Grid line. Already did that one. I cannot move the wall now. See, I can't drag it anywhere. If I move the grid line, the wall goes with it. But there's a constraint on this wall, and I'd have to remove the constraint. It's this dimensional constraint. So it doesn't want to move. It's kind of locked down. And that's a good deal. So I've got my cutout in. My walls are locked to my grid lines. Nothing's going to move around. That's important. So we'll come back in a few minutes and put in some sectional lines.